Have you ever wondered how some people seem to defy aging, staying fit and full of energy well into their 60s and beyond? It's a question that hits close to home for many of us. I've been there too, feeling that slow slide, the stiffness, the fatigue that sneaks in quietly but steadily. It's frustrating and sometimes a little scary to realize that our bodies don't bounce back the way they used to. But here's the truth, it doesn't have to be that way. There are simple, manageable steps anyone can take to keep feeling strong and alive, no matter your age. I remember those mornings when getting out of bed felt like a battle, when I thought maybe this was just how it had to be. Yet, with a few small changes, things began to shift. The secret isn't about drastic measures or punishing workouts. It's about smart habits, nourishing foods, and daily rituals that support your body and mind gently but powerfully. And that's exactly what we'll explore today. You're about to discover 5 surprising foods and key workout principles that have helped one of the most energetic men over 60 stay in incredible shape. These aren't just tips, they're game changers that can unlock new vitality and strength in your life. You deserve to live well, to feel confident and capable every day. So, what's one change you're ready to make today? Let's take this journey together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. 1. 5 longevity foods Tom eats. When you look at Tom Cruise today, leaping from helicopters or dashing across the big screen at an age when most of us have traded running shoes for slippers, it's tempting to believe he must have found the fountain of youth. But as you peel back the layers of Hollywood glamour, what stands out isn't some wild secret or impossible regimen. It's the steady, thoughtful choices he makes day after day, especially in what he puts on his plate. If you've ever wondered how someone can keep that kind of energy, resilience, and spark well into their 60s, there's no magic. Just mindful eating, and it all starts with 5 simple foods. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine waking up each morning, not with dread or creaks in your knees, but with a quiet energy, a sense that today you really can do what you set your mind to. That's the kind of vitality Tom Cruise builds with every meal. The first cornerstone of his longevity is slow-grilled protein. Forget greasy burgers or heavy steaks. Tom opts for wild salmon, tender chicken breast, and lean bison, always cooked gently, never scorched. His portions aren't massive, just about the size of a deck of cards, but every bite is packed with the right kind of fuel. Cooking these proteins low and slow, under 300 degrees Fahrenheit, keeps the amino acids intact, protecting the body from the kind of chemical changes that charred meats can bring. This careful approach means Tom's meals are nourishing and light, feeding muscles, repairing tissue, and offering strength without that sluggish, weighed-down feeling. But protein alone isn't enough. To keep inflammation at bay and recovery swift, Tom adds something that seems almost childlike in its simplicity: blueberries. You might think of blueberries as a snack for grandkids or a topping for Sunday pancakes. But for Tom, they're a staple, a tiny superfood he relies on every single day. On movie sets, the crew jokes about his blueberry pocket. He always keeps a handful close by, popping them between takes. Why? These berries, rich in deep blue pigments, flood his body with antioxidants, those little molecules that sweep away the damage of stress, late nights, and in his case, one daredevil stunt after another. For you or me, that means a gentler aging process and a sharper mind. Blueberries help keep memory crisp, reflexes quick, and the heart strong, whether you're braving the red carpet or just having a busy day at home. The third food in Tom's arsenal isn't as glamorous, but it might be even more powerful: dark leafy greens. Spinach, broccoli, beet greens, and arugula, pre-washed, neatly sealed in cooler bags, follow him everywhere, from the soundstage to hotel room. You might recall the taste of spinach from your childhood, maybe buried in a casserole or wilted beside Sunday roast, but these greens are a daily star for Tom. The secret lies in their plant nitrates, which help open up blood vessels, letting more oxygen flow to his heart and muscles. When you're over 60, your body's natural supply of nitric oxide starts to slow, But these greens help restore that flow, supporting a strong heart and steady blood pressure. Think of every forkful as a small investment in your body's engine, fueling your walks, your laughs, and your peace of mind. Nourishment isn't just about what you eat at mealtimes. It's about the choices you make when hunger strikes unexpectedly. For Tom, there's always a stash of raw nuts nearby: almonds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts. These are nature's energy bars, rich in healthy fats that keep his mind sharp and his energy even during those marathon 16-hour shooting days. Almonds offer vitamin E for skin and brain, walnuts pack in omega-3s for the heart, and Brazil nuts, just a couple a day, provide selenium, a mineral that many of us miss but that supports immunity and reduces inflammation. When you swap chips or sugary snacks for a small handful of nuts, you're giving your body a slow, steady burn of energy and a gentle boost to memory and mood. And perhaps most importantly, you're choosing nourishment over empty calories, a gift to yourself that lasts longer than any treat. The fifth food in Tom's daily routine brings together color, comfort, and science: a low-temperature vegetable medley. Imagine a rainbow of tomatoes, ginger, red bell peppers, and beets, roasted just until they're tender and sweet, never browned or burnt. Tom doesn't drown his veggies in oil or spices. Instead, he lets the natural flavors shine and keeps the oven under 300 degrees Fahrenheit, preserving the vitamin C and powerful polyphenol. This gentle cooking method means each bite delivers nutrients that would otherwise vanish in a hot pan. He often spoons this medley over his fish or chicken, transforming a simple meal into a celebration of taste and health. These vegetables are more than side dishes. They're daily medicine, keeping inflammation low, supporting the heart, and providing the fiber that keeps digestion running smoothly. If you're picturing a table full of fancy, exotic foods, rest easy. None of Tom's 5 longevity foods are out of reach or require a Hollywood chef. Salmon, chicken, spinach, blueberries, and mixed nuts can be found at any local grocery store, and roasting vegetables takes no more time than a nightly sitcom rerun. What sets Tom's approach apart isn't luxury or complexity, it's consistency and care. He doesn't eat these foods occasionally, but every day, letting their gentle power accumulate and work quietly behind the scenes. Something is comforting, even inspiring, in knowing that you don't need to overhaul your life or chase after fads to age with grace and strength. Tom's choices are rooted in science, but more importantly, they're rooted in self-respect and kindness. When you wake up tomorrow, think about how you can invite these 5 foods into your day. Maybe you swap toast for a spinach omelet, or trade your usual snack for a handful of almonds. Maybe you roast a pan of beets and peppers for dinner and finish the evening with a small bowl of blueberries. The journey to staying vibrant after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about making one good choice, then another, and letting the benefits build. Tom Cruise might be running across rooftops, but his real secret is right on his plate, within your reach, and ready to help you feel more alive every single day. You don't have to be a movie star to treat yourself with that kind of care. You deserve it even more. So here's to your next meal, your next morning, your next joyful step. Powered by 5 simple foods and the hope that, like Tom, you'll find new energy and new stories, no matter how many birthdays you've celebrated. 2. 3 foods Tom avoids at all costs. There's a familiar comfort in the foods we grew up with. Sweet rolls with morning coffee, a slice of white bread with every meal, maybe a bag of salty chips while watching the evening news. But as the years roll on, the foods that once felt like treats or innocent staples can quietly become obstacles on our path to healthy, joyful aging. Tom Cruise, for all his blockbuster fame, faces the same temptations as the rest of us. What's different is how he chooses to say no. OT out of strict discipline or joyless rules, but out of a quiet understanding that some foods just don't serve him anymore. The first on Tom's absolutely avoid list is refined sugar. Now, it's easy to hear that and think, well, what's a little sweetness now and then? For decades, sugar has been woven into American life, from birthday cakes to afternoon sodas. But for Tom, the stakes are too high to ignore. As we age, our bodies become less tolerant of sugar's roller coaster effects, those spikes and crashes that leave us tired, foggy, and over time, more vulnerable to diabetes and heart issues. Tom doesn't just skip the obvious desserts. He's careful about hidden sugars in packaged snacks, cereals, and even some so-called healthy bars. Instead, when the craving for something sweet hits, he turns to blueberries or the rare square of dark chocolate, keeping his mind sharp and his energy steady. He's learned, as many of us eventually do, that a moment of sweetness is rarely worth the sluggishness and clouded thinking that follow. For Tom, skipping sugar isn't about missing out. It's about staying clear-headed and ready for whatever life throws his way. The next thing Tom avoids is something many of us have enjoyed since childhood: high glycemic index breads and pastas. It's hard to imagine an American pantry without a loaf of bread or a box of spaghetti, but as we grow older, these simple starches become less of a comfort and more of a challenge. Tom knows that foods like white bread, bagels, and regular pasta can cause quick rises in blood sugar, leaving us feeling sluggish, bloated, or even irritable. He's felt firsthand how these foods sap his stamina and add unwanted weight, especially around the middle, a struggle familiar to many after 60. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Instead of relying on these staples, Tom shifts his focus to carbohydrates that come from vegetables and whole, minimally processed grains. The difference is noticeable, not just on the scale, but in the day-to-day experience of energy and alertness. Swapping out simple carbs for roasted sweet potatoes or a colorful salad may seem small, but for Tom and anyone seeking longevity, it's a choice that makes all the difference. He's not following a fad, he's listening to his body's wisdom, something we all gain with time. Perhaps the hardest habit to break, though, is saying goodbye to the convenience and salty satisfaction of fried and processed junk foods. Whether it's crispy chicken, a handful of chips, or those golden fries that beckon at every drive-thru, these foods are engineered to be irresistible. Tom, like any of us, knows the pull of comfort food after a long day. But he's also seen the hidden cost: extra oils that burden the heart, sodium that puffs up the skin and raises blood pressure, and a heaviness that lingers long after the meal is done. On set, when fried chicken or greasy snacks make the rounds, Tom politely declines or chooses a lighter option, maybe steamed fish or a handful of raw nuts, and waits for a meal that won't weigh him down. He's learned to value feeling vibrant over the fleeting thrill of crunch or salt. It's not about deprivation. It's about choosing what will help him leap, climb, and move through life with ease. What's striking about Tom's choices isn't that he's superhuman or immune to cravings. Like everyone, he remembers the joy of a big slice of birthday cake, the comfort of buttered toast, or the simple pleasure of a bag of chips on a road trip. But with each year, he's grown more attuned to the way his body feels after eating these things. The fogginess, the extra pounds, the sluggish mornings, they're not worth it. Instead, he's built new habits, savoring berries for sweetness, enjoying hearty vegetables for fullness, and treating healthy fats as a daily pleasure, not a rare indulgence. You might be wondering if life loses some of its joy when you draw these lines in the sand. But Tom's story is a reminder that true joy comes from feeling strong, clear, and ready to live fully, not just from the fleeting pleasure of a treat. The truth is, saying no to certain foods is, in itself, a powerful yes to more days of energy, independence, and memory-making. And this isn't about following a celebrity's example to the letter, or feeling guilty for enjoying a treat once in a while. It's about tuning into the wisdom your years have given you, about noticing how foods affect your energy, your mood, your sleep, your outlook on life. Maybe it means reading a few more labels at the grocery store, or pausing before reaching for the bread basket. Maybe it's about asking, how do I want to feel tomorrow? And letting that guide your choices today. What makes Tom's approach so accessible is its gentleness. He doesn't shame himself or others for craving what's familiar. Instead, he celebrates each small victory: a day without soda, a snack swapped for nuts, a meal that leaves him feeling light and ready to move. In this way, Food becomes not a battleground but a foundation for living well, no matter your age or your starting point. So, as you stand in your kitchen, making decisions that might seem small, remember that every no to sugar, simple carbs, and processed fried foods is a yes to your next adventure. Maybe you'll notice, as Tom has, that clarity and strength are the sweetest rewards of all. Let yourself be inspired not by his movie star feats, but by his everyday wisdom, a wisdom you share and can act on one mindful meal at a time. You don't need to be a Hollywood action hero to make these changes. You just need the courage to listen to your own body, honor its needs, and trust that every healthy choice is an act of self-care. That's how Tom Cruise does it. That's how you can, too. 3. Morning routine and mini fast. If there's one thing that truly sets the tone for the rest of your day, it's how you greet the morning. For Tom Cruise, who seems to bounce out of bed with the energy of a man half his age, mornings aren't about luck or the right side of the bed. They're about carefully crafted rituals, habits designed not just for movie sets and stunts, but for the simple goal of feeling alive, awake, and ready, no matter what the day brings. It's easy to assume celebrities have some secret advantage, but the truth is, what Tom does in his first few waking hours is possible for all of us. The sun is barely a hint on the horizon when Tom's day begins. No blaring alarm, no frantic leap into action. Instead, it's a gentle buzz on his wrist, a silent reminder that a new day is waiting. He swings his feet to the floor and sits for a moment, not to scroll through his phone or plan his to-do list, but to breathe, to give thanks. For Tom, gratitude isn't just a word tossed around at Thanksgiving. It's the quiet anchor that grounds him every single morning. He spends a minute or two reflecting, thankful for his health, for his family, for another day to move, create, and live. This small, humble pause is something anyone can try. Just a breath, a few grateful thoughts, before the noise of the world rushes in. Then, before most of us have even considered breakfast, Tom steps onto the treadmill. Not to sweat buckets or chase a new record, but simply to move, to wake his body as gently as he wakes his mind. For 5 minutes, he walks at an easy pace, listening to an audiobook, sometimes a stunt briefing, sometimes a story that inspires him. He's not trying to conquer the world before sunrise. He's giving his body a chance to catch up with his intentions, to shake off the night and prepare for the day. Even a short stroll like this, whether it's on a treadmill, through your hallway, or out to the mailbox, can work wonders. It's a signal to your muscles, your heart, your brain, we're starting. Let's do this together. By now, Tom's mind is clear and his joints are a little looser, but he's not done yet. Next comes a series of gentle, flowing movements, a kind of personal wake-up call for every part of his body. Hip openers, shoulder circles, slow spinal waves, nothing too strenuous, nothing that leaves him gasping. Just a routine that invites flexibility and ease, like stretching out after a long drive. He follows this with 5 deep, slow belly breaths, shifting his nervous system into a calm, focused state. It's like setting your internal thermostat, choosing calm over chaos, clarity over stress. But perhaps the most curious part of Tom's morning comes just before breakfast. He fills a bowl with ice-cold water and dunks his face right in, holding it there for 10 seconds. At first glance, it might seem extreme, maybe even a little silly. But there's a method behind the madness. This quick cold exposure tightens the capillaries in his skin, waking up his senses and reducing any puffiness, prepping him not just for cameras, but for whatever the day might throw his way. It's a bracing, invigorating ritual, and while you may not want to plunge your face into ice water, a splash of cold on your cheeks can offer a similar jolt, a tiny act of bravery to start your day. Now, here's where Tom's approach may differ from what we've been taught all our lives. He doesn't sit down for a big breakfast the minute he wakes up. Instead, Tom practices what's called a mini fast. That means his first real meal doesn't come until later in the morning, giving his body more time to rest, recover, and reset from the previous day. For years, we were told breakfast was non-negotiable. But science is catching up to something Tom already does instinctively. Giving your digestion a break can lead to steadier energy, sharper focus, and even better aging. He's not starving himself, just shifting his eating window so his body spends more time in repair mode, less time digesting. When Tom finally does eat, it's not a feast, it's a micro meal. Just 2 egg white bites wrapped in spinach and a handful of almonds. The meal is light, packed with protein and healthy fats, offering clean fuel without weighing him down. It's not about deprivation. It's about starting the day with intention. This pattern of small, nutrient-dense snacks continues throughout his day, preventing those post-meal energy crashes and keeping his mind sharp for long hours on set. This whole morning routine isn't about perfection. There are days, surely, when Tom feels the pull to stay in bed, to skip the walk, to eat a little more or a little earlier. But consistency is his secret weapon, not punishing discipline, but gentle, repeated action. The beauty is, you don't need to be a movie star to try these habits. You just need a willingness to see your mornings as an opportunity, not a hurdle. Imagine what your mornings could feel like with a few of these changes. Maybe you start with gratitude, a soft smile at the sunlight through your window. Perhaps you set aside 5 minutes to walk around the house, letting your joints and muscles remember what movement feels like. Maybe you stretch, breathe, and savor the quiet before the world demands your attention. And if you're curious, try delaying breakfast just a bit. Let your body tell you when it's truly ready for fuel. It's a morning routine that respects the wisdom of your years, the power of your choices, and the promise of every new day. Like Tom Cruise, you might find that starting slow, with intention and gratitude, unlocks an energy you thought you'd left behind. Your age is not a barrier. It's a testament to the journeys you've taken and the mornings still ahead. So tomorrow, when the world is still soft and quiet, try something new. Give yourself a moment of gratitude. Move a little. Breathe deep. And remember, it's not about doing it perfectly. It's about giving yourself the gift of a better morning, one gentle habit at a time. The energy and joy you seek aren't reserved for the young or the famous. They're right here, waiting in the simple rituals you create for yourself. Let each sunrise be a fresh beginning, just like it is for Tom. You deserve it. 4. Typical meals. Breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, dinner. For most of us, the memory of family breakfasts or hearty suppers around the kitchen table is tinged with nostalgia. Food isn't just fuel, it's comfort, tradition, and often, a reflection of how we care for ourselves and those we love. As the years pass, our bodies change, and what once worked for us might now weigh us down or leave us feeling less vibrant than we'd like. Tom Cruise, despite the whirlwind of his superstar life, understands this deeply. His daily meals aren't about extravagance or fad diets. They're thoughtful, balanced, and surprisingly simple. They're a quiet blueprint for how anyone, especially those of us over 60, can eat to feel strong and steady all day long. Breakfast is never rushed or overloaded. After his gentle morning routine and mini fast, Tom's first meal is modest yet purposeful. He starts with 2 egg white bites, each wrapped in fresh spinach leaves, alongside 6 almonds. There's a kind of elegance to this breakfast. Clean protein from the egg whites, the earthiness of spinach, the satisfying crunch, and healthy fats from the almonds. No sugary cereals or mountains of toast here. Just real food, small in portion but dense in nourishment. It's the sort of breakfast you might dismiss as too simple, until you feel how smoothly it carries you into your day. No blood sugar spikes, no grogginess. Just a slow, even lift. Not long after, second breakfast makes its quiet appearance, and there's a lesson here for anyone who's ever felt their energy dip mid-morning. Instead of reaching for coffee cake or a processed bar, Tom chooses a handful of salmon jerky, packed with omega-3s for his joints and brain, and a scoop of blueberries. The salmon is savory, chewy, and deeply satisfying, and those blueberries, with their burst of tart sweetness, do double duty as antioxidants and natural pick-me-ups. Tom's crew sometimes teases him for always having berries within reach, but he knows the secret. This small snack steadies his energy and helps him power through whatever the day throws at him. For seniors, too, such a snack, rich in healthy fats and free of added sugar, can mean sharper focus, happier joints, and fewer cravings later. Lunch in Tom's world isn't a heavy sit-down affair. His schedule, packed with rehearsals or long shoot days, calls for flexibility and alertness, so he keeps lunch light, portable, and satisfying. He starts with a handful of chilled broccoli florets, spritzed with just a touch of olive oil. The crunch is refreshing, and every bite brings a dose of fiber, vitamin C, and plant compounds that cool inflammation, a crucial gift for the aging body. After the veggies, Tom has a quick shake made from pure whey isolate. There's no sugar, no mystery ingredients, just a hit of protein to keep his muscles content and his mind steady. Finally, he finishes with a small handful of raw mixed nuts, almonds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts. Each nut is its powerhouse. Vitamin E for skin and brain, magnesium for mood, selenium for the immune system. Tom knows that this trio, a vegetable, a lean protein, and healthy fats, delivers the nutrients his body needs without the post-lunch crash so many of us have come to accept as normal. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. When the sun sets and it's time to wind down, dinner becomes an opportunity for restoration, not overindulgence. Tom's evening meal starts with small cubes of herb-dusted chicken, easy to pick up and packed with protein and zinc, which supports muscle recovery and immune strength. Alongside this, he enjoys a medley of slow-roasted vegetables, tomatoes, beets, red bell peppers, and a hint of ginger, spooned generously over a piece of mild white fish. These vegetables are roasted just until they're tender and sweet, never burned, preserving their vitamin C and protective polyphenol. The fish is light but rich in high-quality protein, helping Tom finish his day strong without feeling stuffed or sluggish. There's no breadbasket, no creamy sauces, no late-night snacking. Just a meal that celebrates flavor, color, and the kind of nourishment that helps you sleep well and wake up refreshed. It's easy to assume that a Hollywood star's meals must be out of reach, full of rare ingredients or complicated steps. But Tom's way of eating is deeply practical. The foods he chooses are found in any American grocery store, and the portions are right-sized for an older body that values function over indulgence. Each meal is thoughtfully balanced, offering protein to maintain muscle, fiber and antioxidants to keep inflammation low, and healthy fats to support the brain and heart. But perhaps the greatest wisdom in Tom's daily eating isn't in what he does eat, it's in what he avoids. You won't find sugary desserts, heavy pastas, or fried foods on his plate. He doesn't skip meals, nor does he eat out of boredom or habit. Instead, he listens to his body, eating when he's hungry, stopping when he's satisfied, and choosing foods that serve his health for the long run. You don't need a chef or a strict meal plan to follow in these footsteps. Start small. Trade your usual breakfast for an egg white and spinach scramble. Add a handful of berries to your morning. Swap that lunchtime sandwich for a simple veggie and protein plate, or try a light, roasted dinner. Notice how your body responds. Not just in the hours after eating, but in your sleep, your mood, and your stamina throughout the day. It's a gentle experiment, an invitation to nourish yourself with kindness and intention. As we age, every meal is a new chance to support the life we want to live, a life of energy, presence, and connection. Tom Cruise's approach to meals isn't about perfection or deprivation. It's about celebrating what matters, feeling good, staying strong, and enjoying each moment with the people we love. So the next time you sit down to eat, remember, simplicity, balance, and a little curiosity can be the key to a meal and a day that truly nourishes you. 5. Weekly workout routine breakdown. When most of us think of working out, images of crowded gyms, grueling boot camps, and impossible weights often come to mind. For many people over 60, the idea of an intense fitness routine can feel overwhelming. Something reserved for athletes or movie stars, not everyday folks with stiff knees and memories of old injuries. But Tom Cruise's weekly workout routine tells a different story. It's not about lifting the heaviest or pushing through pain. It's about showing up, moving with purpose, and weaving exercise into life in a way that feels possible, even joyful, no matter your age. Tom's approach isn't about chasing youth or building the biggest muscles. He knows what matters most as we age, keeping the body agile, the joints flexible, and the heart strong. His weekly routine isn't a sprint. It's a steady, thoughtful walk toward lasting health. Each day is designed to nurture a different part of his body, creating a rhythm that sustains him not just for the next movie but for years to come. Monday arrives with a focus on chest, shoulders, and triceps. It might sound intimidating, but Tom's version is about steady, controlled movements. He starts with simple flat bench presses and follows with incline dumbbell presses. Nothing wild, just consistent effort. He rounds out the day with shoulder work and push-ups, mixing strength with endurance. For those of us at home, this could mean a few minutes of arm exercises with light weights or even pressing against the wall, building confidence and strength one set at a time. Tuesday is Tom's activity day, a chance to break away from routines and try something adventurous. He might head out for intervals on a kayak, tackle a rock climbing wall, or practice footwork for fencing. The point isn't the activity itself, but the spirit behind it, a willingness to play, to move in new ways, to keep the body and brain alert. Maybe for you, it's a brisk walk around the block, gardening, or dancing to a favorite song in the living room. Tom reminds us that movement can be a source of joy, not just work. Wednesday is for back, biceps, and traps. Tom lifts weights, but always with careful form and attention to what his body tells him. He might do a few sets of deadlifts, rows, and curls, but he never sacrifices safety for numbers. At home, you can mimic these moves with light dumbbells or even cans from the pantry, focusing on gentle, controlled movements that protect your joints while keeping your muscles active. Thursday combines fun with challenge. High-intensity interval training. Hill sprints and jump squats may not sound like a senior's activity, but Tom adapts them to fit his needs. The heart of the practice is interval work, alternating short bursts of effort with periods of rest. For anyone, this could mean a series of 20-second brisk walks followed by a minute of slower recovery. The benefits for heart health, stamina, and mood are enormous, and you don't need a hill or fancy equipment to give it a try. Friday is all about legs and core. Tom works through squats, lunges, and core stability exercises. For those at home, sitting and standing from a chair, gentle lunges with support, or holding a simple plank on the kitchen counter can awaken sleepy muscles and improve balance. Building leg strength isn't just for action scenes. It's for every step, every climb up the stairs, every moment of independence. Saturday brings adventure in a gentler form. Tom might ride a bike along the beach or take a barefoot run in the sand. You might choose a longer walk, a scenic drive with stops to stretch, or light cycling on a quiet street. The key is movement that feels fun, refreshing, and free, a way to celebrate what your body can still do. Sunday is a day of active rest. Tom focuses on recovery, giving his muscles and joints the attention they deserve. He might do some foam rolling, a gentle stretch flow, or playful time with family, games of tag, tossing a ball, or a simple stroll. For all of us, it's a reminder that rest isn't about sitting still, but about choosing movements that nourish and restore. Throughout the week, Tom's routine isn't rigid. Life happens, schedules change, bodies ache, or unexpected joys appear. The wisdom in his approach is flexibility. If a workout doesn't happen one day, it's not failure, just a chance to begin again tomorrow. Each session is short, 45 minutes of focus rather than hours of drudgery. There's no need for punishment or perfection. Instead, consistency, care, and listening to your limits are at the core. What makes Tom's weekly routine remarkable isn't its intensity, but its adaptability. He trains for function, not for show, building the kind of fitness that lets him chase grandchildren, climb stairs without fear, or enjoy a walk with friends. His movements are intentional, with rest built in and recovery respected. If you're inspired by Tom's example but not sure where to start, remember, the first step is simply moving. Maybe you dedicate Mondays to upper body stretches, Tuesdays to a fun walk, Wednesdays to gentle lifting, Thursdays to intervals, Fridays to leg work, Saturdays to an outdoor adventure, and Sundays to recovery and connection. You don't need to do every exercise, lift every weight, or match every minute. What matters is that you honor your body, stay curious, and keep moving, one day at a time. Aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean moving differently, more thoughtfully, and with a heart full of gratitude for what your body can still achieve. Tom Cruise's weekly workout routine is an invitation to strength, to play, to resilience, and to the quiet pride that comes from taking care of yourself. You don't need a stunt double or a movie contract to feel that kind of vitality. You just need the willingness to begin, to try, and to celebrate each day you choose movement over stillness. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. So this week, as you wake to the possibilities of each new morning, consider carving out your routine. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. And in that steady commitment, you may just find, like Tom, that the best adventures and the strongest, happiest years are still ahead. 6. 4 fitness rules for people over 50. As we journey through life, especially after 50, the way we approach fitness often needs to shift. It's no longer about competing with younger selves or pushing the limits in ways that risk injury or burnout. Instead, it's about cultivating sustainable habits, simple, effective, and kind to the body we've carried through decades of memories and milestones. Tom Cruise's fitness philosophy, especially as he's embraced his 60s, offers us 4 guiding rules that transform exercise from a chore into a joyful, empowering part of life. The first rule might surprise you. Graze, don't gorge. This idea goes beyond food and spills into how we fuel our bodies for activity. Instead of long gaps between meals followed by heavy, energy-sapping binges, Tom opts for frequent, nutrient-dense snacks and small meals throughout the day. Why? Because these steady bites prevent that sluggish, tired feeling right before action scenes, or just before you need to get up and move comfortably. When your energy dips, your muscles tire, or your focus fades, it's often a sign your body needs more consistent fuel. By grazing on foods rich in protein, healthy fats, and antioxidants, you keep your system running smoothly, avoid the dreaded post-meal slump, and maintain sharpness well into the evening. For those of us navigating life after 50, this approach can be a game changer, helping us stay active, alert, and ready for whatever the day holds. The second rule Tom lives by is train for function, not size. This is a powerful mindset shift. It's not about building bulging muscles or lifting heavy weights to impress others. Instead, it's about strengthening your body in ways that improve everyday life. Grip strength for opening jars, balance for safe steps, reflexes for quick recovery from slips, and endurance for long walks or playing with grandchildren. Tom's stunts demand grip and agility more than sheer bulk, and the same holds for all of us. Focusing on functional fitness means prioritizing movements that support independence and reduce injury risk. It's about quality, not quantity, control, not speed, and listening to your body's signals. Simple exercises like wall push-ups, chair squats, or light resistance band work can build the strength you need to live fully without strain. Third on Tom's list is a golden rule that echoes through many health circles. Cook low, live low sugar, slow grilling. How we prepare our food affects not just taste, but how our bodies respond. Tom avoids high-heat cooking methods that char meat and vegetables because they can create inflammation, a hidden saboteur of longevity and vitality. By grilling slowly at low temperatures, he preserves essential nutrients like amino acids, vitamins, and antioxidants. This gentle cooking protects his muscles, heart, and immune system. And perhaps most importantly, he steers clear of refined sugars, those sneaky ingredients that spike blood sugar and fog the brain. Living low sugar means fewer energy crashes, more balanced moods, and a clearer mind. It's a practice that anyone can adopt, and it pays dividends in how you feel from the inside out. Imagine meals that not only satisfy your taste buds but also nurture your body's deepest needs, a true act of kindness to yourself. The final rule, and perhaps the most inspiring, is consistency beats brutality. You don't have to push yourself to exhaustion or train for hours to gain real benefits. Tom's routine is focused, steady, and respectful of his body's limits. 45 focused minutes of exercise 5 days a week outperforms one marathon gym session followed by days on the couch. This approach values rhythm and regularity over occasional extremes. It's about showing up even when motivation wanes, moving with intention even on tired days, and embracing progress, however small. For those of us over 50, this rule can transform how we view fitness, not as a daunting obligation, but as a trusted companion on the journey of aging well. What makes these 4 rules so powerful is their simplicity and adaptability. They don't require fancy equipment, expensive memberships, or hours of free time. They invite you to listen closely to your body, honor its wisdom, and make choices that feel right for you. Whether you're starting anew or returning after a long break, these principles offer a path that respects where you are today while gently guiding you toward greater strength and vitality. Perhaps the most beautiful aspect is how these rules work together. Grazing supports your energy for functional training. Cooking low and avoiding sugar feeds your body the nutrients it needs to recover and grow stronger. Consistency ties it all together, turning these practices into a lifestyle rather than a fleeting effort. You build a foundation that supports independence, joy, and resilience, not just now, but for the decades to come. So, as you consider your fitness journey, imagine adopting these rules one by one. Maybe today you try grazing on a handful of nuts instead of waiting until you're famished. Tomorrow, you focus on a simple functional movement like standing up from a chair without using your hands. The next day, you experiment with roasting vegetables slowly instead of frying. And every day, you remind yourself that showing up regularly, even in small ways, is a victory. Tom Cruise's example shows us that aging doesn't mean giving up on strength or vitality. It means evolving our approach, embracing kindness toward ourselves, celebrating small wins, and choosing habits that empower us to live well. You deserve to feel strong, agile, and full of life. And these 4 rules offer a gentle, effective guide to make that a reality. Remember, fitness after 50 is not a sprint or a race. It's a steady, rewarding journey. With patience, commitment, and these wise principles, you can build a body that supports your dreams, your loved ones, and your fullest life. Here's to your health, your strength, and the joyful movement that awaits in every new day. As our time together comes to a close, I want you to take a moment and reflect on everything we've explored. From the 5 powerful foods that fuel vitality to the habits Tom Cruise embraces to stay strong and agile after 60, it's clear that living well at any age is possible, with intention, kindness, and consistency. This isn't about perfection or drastic changes. It's about small, thoughtful steps that honor the incredible life you've lived and the vibrant years still ahead. Remember, it's never too late to start nurturing your body and mind. Whether it's choosing nourishing meals, moving your body in ways that feel good, or simply embracing a new mindset about aging, each choice adds up to a healthier, happier you. Tom's journey shows us that strength and vitality aren't reserved for the young or the famous. They are within reach for every one of us who is willing to listen, learn, and care for ourselves with love. So as you move forward, hold on to this truth. You deserve to feel energized, confident, and free. Your age is a badge of wisdom and resilience, not limitation. Embrace the journey, celebrate your progress, and remember that every day is a new opportunity to live your best life. If this video inspired you, please leave a comment sharing one habit you're excited to try. Don't forget to like, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories and practical tips to support your health and happiness. Here's to your strength, your joy, and the many wonderful days ahead.